Being really technical CS people, it's often very easy to poo-poo networking and the value of that. But in order to build out Kamcord, we really need all the big game developers to use our product. And what we have found is that it's much easier to convince someone to use a product when they have some connection to you. It could be a friend of a friend, a colleague, but as long as there's some connection to you, that's really useful in terms of building that initial trust for them to at least evaluate what we're doing.
The reality is if you send a bunch of cold emails, a lot of people don't reply. And so one way to get in touch is through Twitter. People tend to be more responsive on Twitter. It's not 100%, but definitely more responsive.
One absolute gotcha is using LinkedIn. So if you go to a party and you meet 10 people, you just have to go back home and LinkedIn them right away. The same thing with business cards. I use this cool app called Card Munch that lets you just take a picture of a business card and pulls up their LinkedIn profile right away. And so you can connect with them with just a couple clicks, no Googling, any of that. And it's really useful down the road to build up 200, 300 people that are in the gaming space.
And you'd be really surprised by how small this world actually is. You can get in touch with executives at some really large companies, and all you have to do is just do a search and ask for an intro. And yeah, not everyone will make an intro, or some may not feel comfortable, but it's really important to follow up. You will definitely not get an intro if you don't ask for one. When you ask for an intro, it's really important to provide a few bullet points about your company, because if you ask someone for an intro to another person, that person that you know, they may kind of understand your business, but you really need them to be able to convey it the way that you would. And the best way to do that is just say, hey, here are 4 or 5 bullet points. Copy those in your email and be explicit about it. Ask them to just copy and paste that into their email so that you're able to get your message across to the person that you're getting an introduction to. The other thing about networking that's important is end your emails with a question. So for example, do you have time to grab coffee in a week? Something that's very concrete. If you say, please let me know if you have any questions, that's a less concrete next step. And so you're kind of putting the ball in their court. I think to network effectively, you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes. And you really have to impress people and stand out. The reason this is important is that when you're at a networking event, and you walk up to someone, you want to give them something to talk about. Otherwise, it's a little awkward sometimes if you don't know the person and they don't know you. So if you have a bright shirt or something funny or something interesting, you can sort of grease the wheels, so to speak. One of the things we do is we bring an iPad and we have a demo and we can say, hey, do you want to see a demo of our cool product? And a lot of people are like, yeah, sure.
So don't underestimate how valuable networking is, and network at any chance you get. So if you go to a house party with a bunch of pre-meds, talk about what you're building and figure out a way to pitch it to them. It also helps you get more comfortable with pitching the product in different ways to people of different levels of familiarity with your industry. And a lot of those skills are really valuable. So find a way to talk about your company, wear t-shirts, and just network at all times.